Going into this new year, I'm going to share with you one of my very favorite kind of life planning exercises, especially a New Year's planning exercise that over the last 10 years, me and my husband have done this every single year, and it's super enjoyable and really, really effective. So, the premise, we typically go out to do this. We go out to a bookstore, we go to a bakery or a coffee shop, basically anywhere where we're not overwhelmed by like small human beings interrupting us all the time. Or on those years where like it's just not possible, we totally put on a Disney movie and hide in another room to do this. But the premise is really simple. One very easy question. What was the best part of our year? And I love this exercise. And here's how this normally plays out. The first 5 or 10 ideas tumble out. Super easy, super obvious. We're like, yes, we loved this and this and this and this. But then the magic starts because then you just sit with the idea for a while. It's amazing how ideas slowly keep trickling out. What were our favorite trips? What were the favorite books that we read? What were our best weekend adventures? Who were the friends or the family that we had really memorable moments with? Maybe there were projects that we finished up in our careers or around the house, which is an ever constant construction zone, it seems. But what were the best parts? And we try to sit with it for a full hour. And we've had this go both ways. Some years we are crushing it. Like the year was just amazing. And we can think of like 50 or 70 things, like in rapid fire succession, because it was such an amazing year. And this moment just becomes this amazing celebration of what we finished and what we accomplished and relationships that we've worked hard on that just felt rich and meaningful work projects, like just amazing. And then some years have been hard. And I remember the year that our son passed away. It was almost like we were full of dread. Like neither of us wanted to mention it, but we sat down to do our best of list and just felt this crushing weight of grief because not only had we lost our son that year, but a lot of things had been hard. I mean, we had had really difficult relationships that were important to us and had been painful. We had been in the middle of 2 renovations. We had moved and we had left all of our friends. Like, it almost felt more fitting to write the crap list of the year because the whole year had just been a storm of pain and hardness. But I remember doing it that year. And at first, like, we just both looked at each other and we're like, neither of us really want to do it. But then there was like, well, but we did finish that one project, or we did do that one trip, or, our kiddo was doing well in school, or there were just these little moments of joy. And the reality is, whether this last year, this last decade, you're like, we are crushing it and it's amazing. And we just have like 100 things on the tip of our tongue. Or you were like, this was a hard year and we did a lot of hard things. Taking the time to reflect on that and to document it and to kind of like give witness to what you've done as an individual, or if you're married with your partner, it's a practice that has fed my soul. Because at the end of the day, even if you've had a hard year, this ritual kind of becomes like looking at the dark night sky. And you see there are still little specks. There are still little glimmers of light. There are still stars out there. And it gives us hope that while it felt like everything burned down, new things are going to be able to grow up from this space again. So if you want to do this year, if this is an exercise that you're like, and even if you're listening to this in July, doing it at any point, think about, what were your money wins? Did you pay off debt? Did you start saving? Did you hit a certain milestone in your investing? What were the vacations that you really loved, friendships, or finishing up home projects, or just small adventures like what was an awesome weekend that you had, any work wins, or personal growth. Sometimes we don't acknowledge how we've grown as people and take time to show gratitude for that and really celebrate it. Any family relationships or things, projects that you started or things that you finished or hobbies that you either started or leaned into or maybe mastered more this year. But it's about taking time for gratitude and for celebration and for acknowledging the fact that you made progress. It's one of the most effective and encouraging things, sometimes in my one-on-one coaching, is people will be like, I didn't have a great month. Like, I just didn't get much done. And I'll say, okay, well, what did you get done? And they start to go through the list and they're inevitably they go, I mean, I was feeling kind of bad about it, but actually I got like 75% of my list done. Oftentimes we just don't take time to acknowledge that we are making progress. And the greatest thing that's in this habit, in this process that I've seen us experience is that once we know what created the best stuff of our year, now we know to carry more of that forward into the next year. And if there's some stuff that like didn't make the list, because not everything makes the list, we just let it kind of fall away. And over the years, we've gotten better and better at crafting a good year and finding more things that hit the best of the year. So it's that process of taking the best of last year and continuing to roll it forward and refine it. And each year we've found we've gotten a little bit better at making our lives better. So just remember, you don't have to be perfect, but you can be just a little bit more courageous every day because adventure awaits.